If you spent your life being told to tone it down, to take it down a notch, that your laugh is too loud, and your feelings too big, and your enthusiasm too intense, and you started to fold yourself smaller just to make other people comfortable, I want you to know this. You're not too much. You're in the wrong room, and the size of you was never the problem. The size of the rooms you've been trying to fit into was. Too much is a phrase that always pretends to be objective, as if there was some universal correct amount of a person and you'd simply exceeded it. But there isn't. Too much for whom? Too loud for which room? Too intense for whose comfort? Every time someone calls you too much, what they're really telling you is that you exceed their particular capacity. They're describing the size of their container and mistaking it for the size of you. Let me tell you about someone. I'll call her Priya. Priya felt everything at full volume. When she loved something, she loved it loudly. When she was excited, the whole room knew. She asked deep questions at dinner parties. She texted 3 paragraphs when one would do. She cried at weddings and laughed until she couldn't breathe. And for most of her life, the feedback was relentless. You're so intense, Priya. Calm down. You're a lot. You're too much. So she did what so many vivid people learn to do. She started rationing herself. She practiced the smaller laugh. She kept her big feelings behind her teeth. She measured out her enthusiasm in careful, socially acceptable spoonfuls, and she got quieter and more agreeable and a great deal lonelier because the version of her that other people found comfortable was a version that wasn't really her at all. Then one day, Priya met a different kind of person. Someone who, when she got excited and went off on one of her passionate tangents, didn't flinch or look away or tell her to settle down. They leaned in. They said, "Tell me more." And something in her chest, something that had been holding its breath for years, finally exhaled. That was the moment Priya understood. She had never been too much. She had simply spent her whole life in rooms too small to hold her, and the answer was never to shrink. It was to find the rooms, and the people, with the ceilings high enough to let her stand up to her full height. There's real science under this, and it has a name. Psychologists call it person-environment fit, the idea that well-being isn't a property of the person alone, or the environment alone, but of the match between them. A trait that's a liability in one setting becomes a superpower in another. The same intensity that overwhelms a quiet, conflict-avoidant group might be exactly what a bold, ambitious one is starving for. The research is clear that the same person can wither in one context and flourish in another, not because they changed, but because the fit did. You are not a fixed quantity of too much. You are a particular kind of person looking for the particular kind of room that needs exactly what you are. And that reframe matters enormously because it moves the question. The question was never, how do I become less? The question is, where do I belong? Those are completely different projects. One asks you to amputate yourself. The other asks you to go looking for your people. So here are 3 things I want you to understand about what's really happening. First, you were never too much. You were too much for someone, and that's a statement about their capacity, not your worth. The people who needed you to be smaller were telling you something true about themselves, and you mistook it for the truth about you. Second, shrinking has never once made a person belong. It only makes you tolerated, and tolerated is a cold and lonely thing to settle for. The connection you're actually hungry for can only happen at full size, because anything less means the person never really met you. They met the rationed version. You can't be loved for a self you're hiding. Third, the right room exists. The people who will call your intensity wonderful, who will say, "Tell me more" instead of "tone it down," who will be energized rather than exhausted by the fullness of you. They are out there, but you will only ever find them if you stop dimming yourself long enough to be recognizable to them. Your bigness is the signal that helps your people find you. The poet Mary Oliver once asked what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. She didn't ask how small you could make yourself for the comfort of a room that never fit. A wild life is not a quiet life. It's a life lived at the full volume you were given, in the company of people glad you came that loud. So stop folding yourself into rooms with ceilings too low. You were never the problem. You were a big, bright, vivid life trying to make itself fit somewhere too small to hold it. Don't shrink. Go and find the rooms with the high ceilings, the open windows, the people who light up when you walk in. You were never too much. You were just, for too long, in all the wrong rooms.